Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, March 13th, 2020. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing unpaid items, reverse stockouts, your comments, questions, and concerns from last week, plus many other news-related items that are eBay related. That being said, a couple of points before I jump into your comments, questions, and concerns. I hope a lot of you got to watch my video from yesterday about eBay reacting to the coronavirus. This is something we all need to remain diligent on. One thing I'd like to also bring up is I always pride myself on releasing my videos at 7 o'clock Friday night. For the next few months, there's a chance, just a chance, that my videos might be late or even early, but most likely late. So if some Friday night you check at 7 o'clock and don't see a video from me, do not worry, it's coming. The issue is, once again, I am on grand jury, and that's going to run till almost the end of May. So sometimes it runs late. You know how things are, you just can't time them perfectly. So do not worry. If my video is a little late, it's a little late, but I will present a video every Friday night. And I will do my best to get those videos out at 7 o'clock p.m. That being said, let us now firstly talk about your comments, questions, and concerns from last week. DA_Ghoul wrote, one of the things I love about Macari, besides the only 3-day return window, is if someone makes me an offer and I accept it, as soon as I click accept, the payment goes through. Macari tells the buyer your offer is firm and you will be charged if accepted. That is great. I would love to see eBay implement that policy, and I swear to God, I don't understand why they haven't. It is 2020. I've had 2 unpaid items this week. One I've already closed out, and later in the video I will be exposing that guy because I think it's in all of your best interest to block that person, and the reason why will become evident as the video goes along. ZXC wrote, Joe, I use eBay's unpaid item assistant, which automatically closes unpaid items after 6 days. It gives the buyer a warning after 49 hours and then closes it out 4 days later. I have no sympathy for buyers that can't pay within 3 days. Since I sell mostly small items using first-class packaging, I'll print the label right away and drop it in my local collection box. When the buyer wants to cancel, even on a Sunday, I'll say it's already dropped off at my local post office. Teresa Webster wrote, I don't know what happened with eBay this week. I rarely get cancellations or returns. This week I had 3 cancellations and 2 returns. Crazy week, and I hope this pattern does not continue. I also had a buyer claim they did not receive their item even though USPS scanned it in. Needless to say, I blocked multiple buyers this week. Teresa, I wish I was in your shoes, having a measly 3 returns. Last week, I think I had somewhere between 11 and 13 in 1 week. Astronomical. Never happened before. However, all the buyers were honest and admitted they made a mistake and purchased the wrong size. This week I had so far only about 5 returns, but one of them filed a false snag claim, claiming that the pictures don't match the item. But he hung himself in the description because he wrote, the item was more scratched than I would have thought, which is really buyer remorse. That really didn't bother me, okay? Do you know a day after he filed the false snag claim, he actually had the unmitigated gall to contact me through eBay messages and said, do you have any of these that are in better condition? My 3 are very good and I want one that's clean. Text me at, and he gives me his text number. But in the description, it clearly said the item was scratched up and in beater condition. There is no way I'm contacting this guy, even through eBay messages. I blocked him. Dennis Copper wrote a comment regarding buyers who want to cancel the item. And he wrote, "Yes, I had this happen one time. They know what is happening, but most will not. Everyone should still mark it as shipped right away. They should ship the item out. This will help all good sellers and lower eBay returns on the entire platform. For those that want to fight it afterwards, no problem. Let's fight it out." He's referring to the cancellations we discussed last week. And my new modus operandi is, hey, if that label is printed, it's going. I don't care if the box is at my feet, it's going. Guys, one thing you have to admit, even though I'm kind of a hard-headed Italian with a bit of a stubborn streak, if you chip away at me on certain issues, I will think about it, sometimes rethink my stance. For instance, leaving feedback. For years, I always left feedback for buyers first. I used to leave it in batches. And I got so sick of running into problems after I left the feedback where a buyer wants to return an item. It's like poking the sleeping bear. And a lot of you guys, including Get a Job, used to drill the idea into me, Joe, do not leave any feedback until they leave it for you first. And as you guys know, that's the way I've been operating almost 2 years now, and it's flawless, and I love it. On cancellations, Deborah Kubler wrote, "My cancellations have gone up also. What I started doing is just as you do, Joe. If I've printed the label, it goes. If I have not printed the label, I don't answer the message to cancel. Instead, I let eBay go through their process of reminding them daily about payment. And when they don't pay after the third day, which is the way I set mine up, eBay automatically opens an unpaid item case, and they get a mark on their account according to eBay. At least that way it's some sort of reprimand for them, since I have to eat the PayPal fees. I can't do it that way, Deborah, because I require immediate payment on all my items, which saves me a lot of headache with unpaid cases, as I will talk about shortly." Vicky Clark wrote, "Anytime a buyer has a request to cancel, I block them before I even accept the cancellation so I don't deal with them again. If I already printed the label, then it gets shipped out and the cancellation is denied. I wish that when buyers do a cancellation, that it would go against them like it does with us sellers. If we do a cancellation that's our fault, it goes against us. But if a buyer does one, it does not go against them. I don't understand that. If sellers could set up their account to block buyers automatically that had too many cancellations, like with non-paying bidders, that would be awesome. Those cancellations to me are worse than the buyers that don't pay at all. Because if they don't pay, at least you didn't lose out on the PayPal fees. But for those of us that have immediate payment, not only are we inconvenienced, but we're losing money because of having to refund these irritating buyers that don't pay attention before they purchase something. Which is why I block them before I even accept the cancellation. Thanks again, Joe, for another great video." Hey, makes sense to me. What also makes sense to me is stopping right now because I'm thirsty and I'd like a drink from the Fox News Cup of Life. This is the Fox News Cup of Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Yeah. Rubber Wilbur wrote, "Joe, the reason that eBay employee told you that in no time in the future they don't plan to do account verification is because it's no skin up their backs. If we, the seller, get cancellations, bad returns, scams, etc., eBay loses $0 from that. Only we stand to lose. So for example, if you had 10 bad buyers that account verification would have caught, and you had 9 fraudulent sales, but 1 sale that goes through, eBay only sees that as a win for them because they got the commission off that 1 sale, while we lost PayPal fees, shipping, stolen items off the other 9. If eBay started to lose money off these fraudulent buyers, then you would see them start to do something." He's referring to the fact that I talked briefly last week about account verification. When I'm done reading these comments, I'm going to talk more about account verification and show you somebody you need to block right now. STVLU733 wrote, sometimes I will be out and I'll get an item cancellation notification after a label has been processed. I will process or print the label right from my phone immediately, right after it has been paid for and a label is already waiting to print or has been printed at home. I suggest others do the same. Charles Foreman wrote, Joe, buyers are getting much more fussy these days. They know full well that they can return items back as not as described. eBay always covers buyers with returns policy every single time, and the only loser is the seller every time. Great video, Joe. Charles in the UK. Another comment from Dennis Copper. Can anyone clarify about charging a restocking fee for returns? I would like to hear a detailed overview as well as real-life situations. It would help us know how your account is set up for handling such situations. Dennis, according to eBay rules, I'm almost certain right now we cannot require a restocking fee. Back in the old days we could, but now I don't think we can. But some time ago I heard some talk in the grapevine about maybe that was going to be coming back, but it wouldn't be till at least probably after this summer. But if eBay ever does allow us to do a restocking fee, even though I never used to, I'll be doing it on every single item. Christian Hine wrote with a rather long comment, but I want to read it. Love your videos and listen to them every Friday night as I drive home from work. Question for you though. Early in the video you mentioned that a buyer returning a hub and paying the $15 shipping would be out $30. This didn't make sense to me until you mentioned later in the video that you don't refund the original shipping even if the buyer pays the return shipping. I didn't realize you could do this, and as a customer I would expect to have my full original purchase price refunded if I return something. I always refund customers in full and write it off as the cost of doing business. Of course, I also mostly offer free shipping, so withholding the original shipping isn't even a possibility in those cases. I would consider moving to calculated shipping for heavier items, but how do you get away with not refunding original shipping and not being inundated with negative feedback? I've never run across a company that didn't refund the entire purchase price, and I'm just not really comfortable with not doing so, even though it costs me. I don't get a lot of returns, so it's not really hurting me percentage-wise. I just know I'd be mad if I didn't get a full refund, so I wouldn't want to subject others to that. Do you clearly specify in your listings that refunds will not include the original shipping? Christian Hine, have you been living in a cave? eBay allows this. This is sanctioned by eBay. It is an option. Sellers who accept returns for 30 days, like myself, do not have to refund original shipping for any cases of buyer remorse. I cannot believe you did not know this. I'm sure you don't sell any heavier items, but if you did sell heavier items and bulkier items, you would be joining me on the bandwagon mighty quick. That is probably the one comment that shocked me the most out of the 99 or so comments on my last week's video, that you didn't know you had that option on eBay, because you do. We as sellers should not have to pay for buyer remorse, and I'm willing to bet that not a single person watching this video disagrees with me on that. But as always, comment what you want. Straight Hype wrote, I'm really mad at PayPal. The craziest thing happened to me today, and I need sellers to be aware of this. I had a dispute case opened against me for $100.81 through PayPal. I accepted a return request from my buyer. I then got his return back from him and proceeded to close the case through PayPal's Resolution Center. During this time, PayPal was still reviewing the case, and there was no option for me to give him a refund or close the case. So I instead searched for his order and hit the refund this payment button and gave him his money back. To my surprise, PayPal removed an additional $100.81 from my current PayPal balance instead of removing it from the funds that were being kept on hold by PayPal. As soon as PayPal saw the refund was made, they also closed the pending case and refunded him $100.81 from the funds that were being kept on hold. PayPal gave him twice the refund and took $201.62 away from my account. I then contacted my buyer 3 days ago about the refund and he stopped communicating with me. I then called PayPal and they verified that the refund was sent to him twice and there's nothing they could do. They gave me the worst advice and told me to contact the buyer directly to get my money back from him. I really don't know what to do now. SMH. If I understand your story correctly, he opens up the dispute through PayPal, not through eBay. Okay? I'm not sure what his reason was for returning your item, if it was not as described or broken, but it appears to me that PayPal was covering him with their guarantee. Once you receive the item back, if I'm understanding what you said correctly, is you refunded him before PayPal made its final decision, and that's where the problem came into play. But nonetheless, this is ridiculous that PayPal doesn't have your back on that. I think that just sucks. 2 more comments to read before we get into the main topics. Chef Sirius talked about selling products associated with the coronavirus, and if you watched my video yesterday where I talked about eBay reacting to the coronavirus, I answered this, but I want to read it again anyway. Chef Sirius asked, here's a good one. Recently eBay has stated we cannot sell anything with the term coronavirus or virus, which means we cannot sell alcohol wipes or disinfectant wipes. eBay says they do not want people to profit from the recent viral incident. I've had many antibacterial and antiviral wipes which I consider dog items, and now they have started selling. I had priced them very reasonably. The listings were removed by eBay. Where are people supposed to buy these items? People are crying out for these items, yet we cannot sell them. I have seen others price these same items extremely high, yet their listings have not been taken down. I feel I may have been reported. eBay makes it hard for you to sell these items, and it's hard to earn a buck. From what I've read from eBay, they don't want anybody selling these items, not just you, good sir, anybody. But that being said, there were a few things that happened that were disturbing, like the case I talked about, which wasn't even on eBay, where somebody in a convenience store made up their own homemade hand sanitizer. All right? Put it in bottles and sold it. Some kids bought it and they burned their arms really badly. And that's dangerous. And I think eBay was maybe concerned about that kind of thing. However, you did bring up a good point, because there is a demand for these items. I was in the supermarket yesterday. You should have seen the aisle was completely wiped down in the disinfectant area where the cleaners are. There was nothing to be had. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Just crazy. One more comment and we can talk about some new material. The last comment is from BizHacks about the birdhouse. I really like that birdhouse. What's the story behind it? It looks like fish. All right, guys, first item I want to talk about is unpaid items in the year 2020. I think it's sick, absolutely sick and disgusting that there can still be deadbeat bidders in the year 2020 on eBay. Years ago, I moved away from the auction format because I was inundated with them. Plus, somebody was starting fake accounts to attack me and bid on my items with the intention of not paying. And you know, that can still be done today. eBay has absolutely no safeguards in place for creating fake accounts, whether it's to hurt a particular seller or just for the hell of it. We're going to do a cutaway now. There is a loophole that exists when you send offers to watchers. Actually, the loophole has always been there, but now it's causing me a problem. I've had 2 deadbeat bidders this week where I sent offers to watchers on the blind because you don't know who you're sending them to. The watcher may have 1,000 feedback, or he may be a 0 feedbacker with a fake account, like the dude I'm about to show you. Let's do a quick cutaway, take a look, and we'll come back and talk about it. Okay guys, right now I want to show you something that I have not experienced in a long time on eBay, a deadbeat bidder. And the reason I haven't experienced them is because all my items are immediate payment required. Sadly, when you send out a best offer, you have no idea who you're sending the best offer to. So recently, I had these Pontiac hubs up for sale, and I had 3 people watching them. I sent out a best offer to 3 people on the blind, meaning I don't know who I'm sending the offer to. And look at what bought them. Guys, did you ever sell something on eBay and when you look at the account, you know beyond any doubt you're not going to see any money? This is an obvious fake account. 0 feedback. What I believe is Arabic on top. I can't even tell. It's obvious eBay has absolutely no checks and balances with these fake accounts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you exactly who we're dealing with, and then we're going to close this unpaid item case because it's ready to be closed. So first, let's take a look at who we're dealing with. This person started this account on December 13th, 2018, supposedly in Saudi Arabia. Is that where he is? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows, because apparently it's carte blanche opening these accounts. Who in their right mind would wait over a year and a half to make a purchase, and when they finally do make a purchase, it's for $150 plus shipping? So guys, as you can see, this is the person that's a deadbeat bidder, and I strongly implore every one of you guys to block this person. I'm not saying you have to, I'm saying you should, and I highly recommend it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this out live and in color. All right? Continue. I'm requesting a final value fee credit. Continue. And there's my confirmation. It happened. Now, guys, let's go back to this. I'm going to use the word scammer because there's just no other word to use for something like this. This is what happens when you have no checks and balances, and it upsets me greatly. It really does. The only slightly bright thing is that I didn't lose any PayPal fees on this deal. But I don't know, man. Thankfully, all my items are immediate payment required in the fixed price category. But this could happen to any one of you guys when you send best offers. Now, I also sent best offers out the other day, like 3 days ago, and I got another one of these guys, another deadbeat, and just earlier I had to send out another unpaid item case. So, if he doesn't pay, I'll be featuring him in next Friday's video as well. Let's get back to the main focus of the video now. Okay guys, I sent that character an unpaid item notice as soon as I could. As soon as I saw that name on the account with the Arabic writing, 0 feedback, and the account is a year and a half old with no activity, I knew I was screwed. And I was. So what I'm going to be doing from now on, anytime I get an unpaid item, I don't care if the feedback is 0 or the feedback is 10,000. I will expose them here on my show because I think it's for the good of the eBay selling community, so that if you wish, you can block them. There is no room on eBay for fake accounts and deadbeat bidders, and I don't think any of you guys will argue with me on that point. So I just wish eBay would impose some kind of account verification to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen. But as much as I love selling on eBay, I honestly don't think they have any intention of doing it. Something that's happened to me several times over the last year or so is what I call a reverse stockout. I'm sure you all know what a stockout is. It's when you sell an item on eBay, you go to box it up, and you can't find it because apparently you've sold it. That is something that's happened to me more than once in my eBay career. and I always go out and I buy the item from a competitor or another seller, just so the customer gets their item as I promised it. All right? Something that's happened to me over the last year, and it's happened about at least four or five times. I've sold an item on eBay, and as soon as it sells, I look at it and I say, do I have that? I go up to the warehouse, I start rummaging around, and I can't find it. So I figure I must have sold it. I go on to eBay, or I call a vendor directly, I buy the item, and I have it shipped to the customer. So they're happy, everything's fine. 2 months, 3 months down the road, another item will sell, not related to that item, and while I'm looking for the second item, I unearthed the original first item, meaning I had it all the time, didn't even know it, couldn't find it, and still had to go out and buy one from somebody else just because I didn't have it where it was supposed to be. So I've termed that a reverse stock out. I don't believe I had any cancellations whatsoever, thankfully. I did have returns, as you know. That one snad return I got to deal with, I've already blocked him. Next week, I plan on exposing that other deadbeat bidder. He was real interesting because I sent him an offer as an offer to a watcher, and he accepted the offer within 45 seconds. That's never happened. Within 45 seconds of me sending the offer, he accepted, but he never paid. I sent him the unpaid item case notice. He hasn't responded to that. That'll be closing out in a day or two. So next week I'll be exposing him. So yeah, guys, I've kept you quite a bit today, so I gotta bail. Let's do a quick rehash. If you have any comments on unpaid items, deadbeat bidders, cancellations, anything related to eBay and the coronavirus, or items that you sell that got yanked, feel free to comment below, or any eBay questions, comments, or concerns, comment them below. Guys, remember, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. Each week I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you stay successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please give me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job this week, tell me in the comment section what you want me to hit up, and I'll be glad to do it. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems. I'm still making money online. I've never worn a mask, and I never will. I've never distorted my voice or altered it in any way because I feel that is dishonest and unscrupulous. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm a CEO and a CFO of my own company. Thank you for watching. Go out there, make a ton of money on eBay, rock on, and peace! Before I close, another drink from the Fox News Cup of Life, if I may. For the second time today, this is the Fox News Cup of Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. No birdhouse today, no birds because it's raining out, it's nasty. So yeah, but I'm still gonna say, don't be fitchy!